What is up everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm talking about how art block is your friend. Yes, controversial take, art block is your friend, and I'll explain to you why. But first, let's define how do you know if you have art block, right? What you need to look out for is that you're not using art block as an excuse for not making stuff. A lot of times people romanticize this idea of, oh, I have art block, I'm too creative, I need to be inspired to make stuff. This is a very common thing. This is how you know you have art block. If you can sit down for 2 hours straight with a piece of paper and not draw anything. You've sat there for 2 hours, not being distracted, not listening to music, not doing anything else except sitting there for 2 hours with a blank sheet of paper and a pencil, and you don't draw anything for 2 hours, then I'll give it to you, you have art block. It has to be 2 hours of focus trying to draw. All right, it can't be just I'm watching other stuff and I'm trying to draw, but I'm also distracted. Then you're just being lazy, you're not focused on the task, and then you're not going to feel inspired to draw. You're not going to feel motivated to do something unless you're focused on it as a single task. You got to treat it as it's important, as if it's important for it to be important. So if you haven't done that, if you haven't sat down for 2 hours and just focused on it, use a timer and sat there for 2 hours straight and not drawn anything, you don't have art block. This is a testing ground for if you have art block. Sitting down for a long period of time trying to focus on it. And if you try that, then yes, you have art block. If you've done that many times and you still can't draw anything, then I'll give it to you. You have art block. Now, why is art block your friend? Art block is a signal that your life is unbalanced, that there's something wrong in your life that is causing you to shut off the creative flow. It's a sign. It's telling you, hey, you got to fix some things. That's why it's your friend. It's not trying to get in your way. It's trying to signal that, hey, you need to fix other things so that your life feels balanced. And there's a few places you can look. One place you can look is looking at how much pressure you're putting on yourself to create something good. You got to set the bar low. If you're a creative person, you got to set the bar low and create as much as possible, and then slowly, incrementally increase your standards. If you're a beginner, don't expect yourself to be at the top all of a sudden. It just doesn't make sense. You got to start with low expectations because you're just learning a skill. You know, babies don't try to sprint marathons as soon as they learn how to walk. You know, there's a stepping stones before you get to that running marathon level. And it's the same thing with art. If you're putting too much pressure on yourself, you're going to cause art block because you're overthinking every line instead of enjoying the process. So you have to lower your standards, take the pressure off yourself, just know that having fun with the work is going to allow you to grow. So even if you do a bad drawing, you got to go through the bad drawings. It's just part of the process. Everybody does it. So make sure not to put too much pressure on yourself. Problem number 2 is try to fix stuff outside of art. Maybe it's not even art related. It could be financial pressure or family problems. If you have other things going on in your life, don't expect to be creative all the time. This is just not realistic. You're still you. Your art life isn't totally separate from your life in general. So if you have problems outside of the art, take time away from the art and focus on fixing those external problems. If it's financial problems, you got a lot of stress, you got a lot of exams, tests, whatever it is that's going on outside. Right now there's a whole quarantine thing going on. That could be causing you a lot of stress. And if that's causing you a lot of stress, it could be hard to sit down and focus on a task like drawing. Although it could also be therapeutic to focus on something that doesn't involve other things. But if you feel like that pressure, the external pressure is so high, there's other things going on that you can't even draw, then just be forgiving with yourself. Understand that you can't be creative all the time. You got to take time off. You got to deal with those external problems separately, and then come back, and I'll guarantee that the creative flow will come back. Sometimes external things can stop you from doing the thing that you love. Also, another place to look is at your diet and sleep. If you're tired all the time, it's very hard to focus. If you're eating food that is spiking your blood glucose all the time and you feel tired, you go through these swings throughout the day, it's going to be very hard to stay motivated. It's just being tired is one of the worst things for you. If you're tired all the time, you're going to make bad decisions. It's very, very difficult to focus. If I have a bad night's sleep, I have a hard time focusing. I can't focus for long periods of time. I have to keep taking breaks, and that could cause art block. It just makes it so much harder to sit down and draw because it's a mentally demanding thing to do. It's not something that's easy. It's not like going for a walk. It takes effort to do, and if you're tired, you're just going to get grumpy. You're not going to feel like it. So make sure that you get enough sleep, and you try to fix your diet. This is like a worldwide problem. Everyone's eating too much sugar. Try to figure out what you can eat to keep yourself motivated, keep your energy high throughout the day so that you have the energy to put into the work. And the biggest thing with art block is that it might be a signal that you're not doing the thing that you love, that you're falling out of love with the craft. And this can happen in many ways. I discussed some of them. A big part is not doing the things that you love. Make sure that you're always doing the things that bring you joy in the work, so that you can fall in love with it over and over again. The work isn't easy naturally. It takes effort to fall in love with the work. It's not something that just happens. It's not something magical thing. You have to pour effort into the work, and there you will find your joy in it. You have to fall in love with the process by focusing on the work. And this is it takes time. I like drawing more now. I enjoy it way more now than I used to before. Because I used to try to do a lot of things that weren't in line with the things that I actually enjoy drawing. Now I have a better idea of who I am, what I like doing. So now I actually enjoy it more. And also, like, technical ability, as your technical ability grows, things do become easier, things do become more fun, but that requires investment and time into the work. So try to pay attention to what is it that you actually like making, and try to make more of that stuff so that you fall back in love with it. Art block can be caused by you walking away from your personal voice, doing things that you don't actually enjoy doing. You know, if you have school projects and stuff where you're doing stuff that you really hate, try to find ways to make it so that you can include elements that you enjoy drawing. So these are all ways to try to mitigate art block, and you have to realize that art block isn't this enemy. It's not something that you have to fight against. It's a sign, it's a signal. It's telling you, hey, something is off balance. We gotta work together here to figure out what it is. Make sure that you don't convince yourself that you have art block unless you actually have it. So you sit down for 2 hours and stay focused on drawing or painting, whatever it is that you make, and see if you can actually come up with something. Because it might just be that you feel pressure to perform, so therefore you don't allow yourself, you don't want to take that risk of trying. You got to take the risk of trying. You got to put yourself in the uncomfortable position. That's the only way you'll grow. That's why your art block is your friend. It's just telling you, hey, just calm down with some things, fix things, and then get back into balance and make more work. And that's it for this video. That's what I wanted to talk about today. And if you're interested in learning how to draw, I have a bunch of drawing tutorials over on the website. Make sure to sign up for the mailing list while you're there, because it'll pop up. Just put your email in. It's the best way for us to stay in touch. And subscribe and like this video if you liked it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll respond. And that's it. Thank you so much for checking this out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.